Here's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their
The mother,
mother,
the
the youngest
youngest one.
one in curls. I bring that song up today, the Brady Bunch. Brady Bunch. Ladies and gentlemen, we have royalty in the room today. You know, since I've been doing this podcast, my stock is going up. But for those of you all that don't know, my stock has actually been high this whole time. The stock has actually been much higher. You ever have an ace that you hold close to the vest? You ever have the high joker when you're playing spades? Ladies and gentlemen, to my right, your left, the former president of the National Bar Association. And I could go on. Dot, 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 dot. CCPPPI and Habitat for Humanity and all of these things. The first relative I saw driving a Benz in the 90s. Before there was the Black House at the corner of Almeda and McGregor, there was the white and green house on McGregor. Again, to my right, your left, Algenita Davis, my aunt. Welcome to the Black House, Aunt Nita.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be here.
So, Aunt Nita, we have all looked up to you. I remember going to your house for Christmas in the 90s.
And you remember the room was white with gray.
And I remember Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And I had to be in like the third grade, but I was old enough to know that was a very big deal. Anita, how did you first get involved in all of this? What was your foray?
Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to be here. And as far as involvement, I enjoy participating in organizations. And basically, your grandmother and I were raised to be in stuff.
Wow.
We were always in stuff.
Yes.
And we participated even as kids in programs and in church.
Okay.
And in doing stuff, taking the roles in church, which was really, the training ground that we had. So I think that part of it heightens your involvement and your commitment to be involved with other people and organizations. As far as Houston's political scene, I was very fortunate to marry into a family that was involved in politics. So I got a chance to watch them in action and watch how politics really rolled.
Wow.
And if anything will inspire you not to be in politics, it's watching your family members be in politics, watching people be ungrateful, watching them be demanding, watching them say mean and ugly things. And so the whole political arena, I got a chance to see it from that side, from the underskirt, and as opposed to from the side that you're watching them do things, as you see them do things for people. So I think that the involvement started very early, but it really started being involved with people and being involved in organizations.
Awesome. So I call her Aunt Nita. We have additional royalty in the room. If you've ever wondered, where did he get his good looks? Where did if you've ever wondered,
thank you.
To my left, your right, my mother.
Yay!
Durell Douglas. Yay. Welcome to the Black House.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Mom, tell me this. This is your aunt. What was Aunt Nita like when you were growing up?
Anita was like Santa Claus. Because I don't care when you saw her, she always had something for you.
Okay. You can look at us as
it was always a nice gift.
Mm-hmm.
It was always a hug, a kiss, lots of love. Even at Christmas time, no matter how many people she had at her house, as you walked in, every single person got a gift.
Yes.
Every single person got a gift. She had the biggest Christmas tree and the most gifts under it.
Yes.
And she was like Santa Claus.
A giving heart.
A giving heart. A
giving
very
heart.
loving and giving
And
heart.
giving heart. And Aunt Nita, you are respected by so many different people. It makes me wonder, like, where does one begin to get so interwoven into things? And what advice do you have for folks that are coming up, that are just now running for office, that are trying to be involved in one way or another? What advice do you have for them?
Well, it's not always respect. That's one thing. And, you know, and as your mother was saying, our family had that tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to be Big Annie.
Mm.
And your grandmother and I would go to our father's sister's house
Mm-hmm.
every Christmas on Wallaceville Road, 12222 Wallaceville Road. And she had a wood stove in her house. She had a hair salon out there. She would, I mean, it was just wonderful. But Big Annie could make those jelly cakes with those little bitty little layers. And we always went. So I wanted to be the aunt that the nieces and nephews remembered.
And
I wanted to
you
be
are.
Big
You
Annie.
are. Trust me.
Yeah. And I'm big for a reason.
Oh, wow.
So that's the involvement with the family. But you know, your grandmother and I were just very fortunate to.
And you
always
were
have
a saving grace at the same time, because whenever there was a need for something and we didn't have it, you were the one that Mom would always go to. And
That's my sister.
lo and behold, she came through every time.
That's my sister.
Yes. We're gonna as y'all can see, if you look to the left of your screen, you see a cowboy hat with a card. I'm gonna have her go over here. Donna Glover. She's gonna join us a little later. We're gonna take a walk down memory lane. Aunt Nita, Mom, Quincy, if you'll put any one of those photos up. You know, I turned 40 this year.
Whoa.
I turned 40. Mom, take me back to right here.
Make me feel so old.
Mom, when was this? Where did we take this picture? I think I remember.
We took this picture. This was his Easter outfit. And my kids would be
You
sharp.
can put it on the
Easter.
screen.
It was a
Quincy.
thing that my mom taught us. We
At
had to
church,
be sharp
baby.
for Easter, for church, period.
Yeah.
Church.
And of course, he had the white. What do you call those shoes?
Walking shoes.
Yeah,
Are they walking shoes?
you know, the shoes that
with the bell.
with the bell and the long socks
Yeah,
with the
come up
shirt.
to the knee,
Of course,
come up to the
the
knee.
suit was with shorts, and of course, he had suspenders on under that jacket. So yes, we were, and he's
Hair's long.
sharp, clean cut.
Yeah. So, Mom, you were a single mother up
Yes.
until 5 when you and Dad got married. What was that like?
It was a struggling thing. But I had my mom was there. Your dad was there also, financially and in and out of our lives. But my mom was the backbone
Yeah.
to, even when I brought you home, it was no rest. Get up, fix those bottles, wash those clothes, iron each piece with the powder and iron it, crease it. All the stuff, all the clothes had to be
Mhm.
pressed and laid and ready for you. At nighttime, I didn't have to too much worry about if you woke up in the middle of the night, because she would run to you and get you. But you know, it was get off the phone, or the bottles fixed, or the, you know,
Yeah.
take care of the baby first.
Yeah. Let's go next,
You know.
Quincy. Any one of those next. We're gonna go down memory lane. Who is this? And put it over there too, Quincy. Who is this?
That is Mom.
It's my sister.
See, they have the
Yeah.
same nose.
Yes.
Same, they have the same nose, the same eye
Yes.
prescription, the same knees, the
And
same
the-
feet, the
Yes.
same everything. The
And the
doctor was
same-
amazed when we would go to the doctor. They're like, "Oh, it's the
And
same
the
eye, that
same,
left
they
eye,
have the same attitude.
Yes.
Do not
Yes.
play with these Scott sisters. Because, baby, yes, they have the same attitude.
We talk the same.
Nice.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Talk the
Yes.
What's her name?
Betty
Betty
Jean
Jean.
Douglas.
Betty Jean Douglas.
Scott Douglas.
Betty Jean Scott.
Yeah.
Douglas.
Oh, okay.
I hear Daddy
Scott.
saying
Absolutely.
that. Betty Jean Scott.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, I remember I had to be like, how old was I when Granny lived over by U of H in that like duplex thing?
You had to be seven because I was pregnant with Devontae.
Yeah, so 7.
Mhm.
I
7
remember
going on 8.
drawing on the back of a Southwestern Bell envelope
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
an elephant.
Oh.
And Granny was on the phone with Ethel. Remember Ethel?
Miss Ethel. Mhm.
Miss Ethel. And so I take it to Granny and I say, look. And she says, oh, would you look at that? And I was like, it's an elephant. She was like, it's an elephant. Ethel, girl, he done drew an elephant. And my grandmother was always such an encouragement. So when I think today, when I look at some of my peers who like didn't get that
I'm telling
encouragement.
you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was also telling the story. Mom, I don't know if you remember this. We went to Huntsville for, this is on Dad's side though. Went to Huntsville for the family reunion one year. I had to be like 12. And we were playing dominoes. And they let me, looking back, I know they let me win.
Mhm.
But at the time, it was a
Yeah.
rite of passage
Uh-huh.
Right.
because that gave me confidence.
Mm-hmm.
So when I slammed the dominoes and used some colorful language today, it's because of that. And I think that's part of our history that we don't really
Yes,
acknowledge.
it is.
It's
Yes, it
part
is.
of the whole
And
whole thing.
That's what I enjoyed about being raised by Mom. The confidence that she, put in us as mothers, as daughters,
Mhm.
and as you as
Yeah.
grandchildren. She always inspired you to be the best that you could be,
Yes.
and always encouraged you to look the part, be the part. You are somebody.
Absolutely.
And she always planned things. She planned
Mhm.
events.
Yes.
Mhm.
Everything. It doesn't matter what happened. She celebrated the children, the
Mhm.
grandchildren.
Mhm.
That was going to be a party. That was going to be a function. There was going to be
Yes.
all this food all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Mhm.
She loved doing that.
Let's do the next one, Quincy. We're joined by Patrick Cherie. Uncle Blue is watching. Milton Douglas is watching.
All right.
Who are these folks? Now, this house was on, and you can make that bigger if you want to.
No.
That was
No, that's
Lisa.
Lisa and Shalita.
Lisa and Shalita.
And this is
Mhm.
Miguel's big
And-
head right there
Yes.
in the forefront. He grew into it finally. He has dreads. He kind of covers it up a little bit. Do y'all remember this era? What year was this?
Shalita.
Probably.
This had to be
No, this had to.
Was it that long?
No,
had
this
to
was in the
be.
90s. This had to be in the
Mhm.
90s because she was
Okay.
living on.
had to be about 95.
Yeah.
Mhm.
95, 96, because
Okay.
Devontae would have been
That's how you can remember.
Yeah.
Mm.
30
Mhm.
years ago.
Devontae
Yeah,
would have been
roughly.
sitting in someone's lap at that
Yeah,
time.
he would have been two.
About two. Yeah,
Yeah.
so about
Were those the
96.
cousins?
96?
Those,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
those are my sisters.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember
We're at Aunt Shalita's house
Aunt Shalita's house. So Aunt
Mhm.
Shalita worked for the school
on
system.
Burkett.
So whenever she was
Yeah.
off, we were over
Mhm.
there. And I remember she was trying to potty train my younger brother.
Mhm.
So she would make him sit on the pot until he peed.
That's
But
right.
he didn't know. So you know what I used to do? I used to go in there and pour a little water in and be like, Auntie, he's finished. So he could go.
And the Burkett house had a carport
Yes.
out front.
Yes.
That was the party area.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Party.
And
Absolutely.
the house where you can go and get some soul food.
Yes.
She cooked there
Those
all
pies,
the time.
lemon
Yes.
meringue pies. My Aunt
Homemade
Shalita
pies and
used to
homemade
make
sweet
lemon
potato
meringue
pies.
And Misha, her daughter, my sister cousin, I call her sister cousin because we basically grew up together. I remember I had to be 7, I had to be 9. Maybe Misha was 7, right?
Mhm.
And Aunt Shalita was asleep. And Misha followed the directions and made tea cakes.
Wow.
So Shalita wakes up and she's like, y'all use the oven? You know? And then she took a piece of the tea cake and she was like, these are actually good.
Well, she was a little.
And she was like, you know what? That is
She was
these are
seven.
actually
She was about
good.
seven.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're 2 years apart. You can put the next one up, Quincy. Going down memory lane.
All right.
Who is that? I don't know. Put
That
next
is-
one up, Quincy. Who is
That's
that?
Angel-
Oh, look at
Algenita,
this. Put that
Mama,
one on
and
the, put
Uncle
that one up here.
Jackie.
Put that one right up there somewhere with all of us.
That picture of me on the-
Yeah, that was one our Christmas.
Yes.
That's me, my brother, my sister.
Oh,
Put it on there so they
That's
can
the
see
three
Quincy.
Scots right
We were
there.
posing. We were
There we go.
posing.
Ain't Algenita.
Can you put
and
it
the
right
brother.
here? Make it big right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is cool. Do you remember where this was, Anita?
Christmas is Christmas.
Yeah. And see, just look at the
That's
tree,
Christmas.
and you see
I
the
can't
painting
tell.
behind that. That's on McGregor.
That's
Okay.
And that's the
Anita's
tree
house.
behind
A
us.
tree.
And that
That's the
painting.
tree I was describing.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
because our next door neighbor owned Houston Gardens.
Mhm.
And so we could
Wow.
always get these great
Listen.
big tall trees.
Beautiful
Listen.
tree.
And so we
Yes.
were posing. We're just the three of us.
That's
doing our
where
usual
I get
teasing
my ideas
posing.
from you at
That's a
Christmas
big
time
tree.
to be
Oh,
as
yeah.
extravagant as I can be at
Yeah.
Christmas time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Every year. And we just got up and posed and took our picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't mess with them. Mm-mm.
Let's put the next one up.
And that is me and
And put this right here so
Devontae.
everybody can see it. So this is my younger brother, Devontae Hicks.
Mhm.
Different last names. Listen, don't be nosy. Don't be nosy. Don't ask questions, right? But yes, my younger brother, Devontae, and my mom. Go with the next one, Quincy. Let's see.
Devontae.
That's again, Mom. Do you remember where that was?
Yes, it was at a
A
competition.
football game. No, it was a
No,
competition because
that was a competition. It was a competition.
Yes.
Okay.
And we had come out in the back to get on the bus.
So what's interesting, Anita. So my
performing.
the last time
Mhm.
I went, so my brother, he's the band director at Elsick High School.
Mhm.
And so the last time they had some type of UIL competition, I
Mhm.
arrived a little late.
Uh-huh.
So I enter, and you have to be really careful because they're, you don't want to interrupt. You don't want to.
Extremely quiet.
So I go in and I see, someone, so I'm like, okay, I haven't missed them because that's someone else conducting. And then I realize that is my brother
Conducting.
conducting,
Very well.
and he's in his, like,
Element.
he's
in his
right.
element. His element.
He's in his element. And I think that's sort of a metaphor for life. Like when you're in your zone,
Mhm.
when you're in your zone, you turn into this other thing. Anita, what was the one role that you had that really sort of defined? What was one of those like pivot moments? For me, I think it would be when I quit at the prison and ended up
Okay.
working at the
Okay.
party. That was,
Uh-huh.
and it was
Uh-huh.
Sheila Jackson Lee
Uh-huh.
who changed the whole
Mhm.
trajectory. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
My mom was bringing me she's bringing me flyers. I had quit my job at the prison. I was sleeping on the couch. And I was like, I have a vision. And she was cool, but about 3 weeks in, she started bringing home Sam's Club. Look, they doing stocking, $15. Do something. But it was meeting Erica Lee at a Young Dems meeting, and that turned into meeting Sheila Jackson Lee. And she was like, be at this place at 8 a.m. on Monday. And I was like, really? Like at first I was like, yay. And then I left and I was like, was she serious? And I showed up at 8 a.m. and
Uh-huh.
people knew what that was it.
And who was it with?
Consistently.
It was with the Harris County Democratic Party, the coordinated
Mhm.
campaign.
Oh.
They just
Mhm.
put me in a role,
Mhm.
and I had to catch up.
And
Put the
Looking
next
for
one up, Quincy.
volunteers. And that was one of Sheila's gifts.
Mhm.
She was
Oh, my
always
God.
very open
Mhm.
Mhm.
to bringing people into her environment immediately.
Yes.
That it wasn't, this whole interview, none of that. If
Mhm.
you worked in Sheila's office, you worked at the front desk.
Okay.
The new people, you work at the front because she wanted you to
Yeah.
learn
That's right.
who was who, what was what,
Mhm.
how it operated, how it did.
Mhm.
You were the first voice on the phone because your natural curiosity as a new employee would make you
Mm.
much more responsive to her constituency. That was her requirement. I headed her district office for months.
Oh,
And
okay.
she was very into getting new people and young people involved, and it just constantly, she never ever stopped that her whole time. She didn't have this big hierarchy of who was doing what in office. Everybody did everything.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's
And
good.
you may have done it twice.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember, speaking of this picture, so my brother went to Stephen F. Austin University. Is this one an SFA pick? Stephen F. Austin State
Mhm.
University. He played the band at SFA. And I remember going to Family and Friends Day. Mom, do you remember this?
Yes.
And it wasn't this one, but it may have been this one, actually. Do you remember where I'm going with this story?
Go ahead.
It was raining. It was drizzling.
And cold.
And cold. And so Mom is sitting like towards the front. And she has this huge umbrella. Huge, right? And so I'm like, Mom, no one
Other
around
people
you can see. And she's like, and? So she's sitting
Who's gonna
there.
make me move?
And people are like, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Yes, next photo, please. It was so funny. I remember being like, you can't sit there like this. She used to watch me.
Yeah, she was prepared.
Tell us about this lady right here.
This is my sister Lisa.
Yes.
And that night we were at one of my birthday parties that we had did at a club.
Turning
And-
Point?
No, it wasn't the turning
Turning
point.
point. I remember.
Um,
I
But that's my
remember.
brother in the green.
I love
My
Turning
entire
Point.
family, it was a picture of the siblings is what it was.
Mhm.
And that's Lisa. Mhm.
But my
Yeah.
sister liked to go to clubs for
Hole in the
Yes.
wall.
birthday
Yes.
Yes.
Hole in the
We
wall.
would be on
Yeah.
OST.
Yes.
We'd be
She used to
on-
be in Speakeasy.
And
Yeah.
to
Yes.
this day, you're
Yes.
going to see me going to someplace
There
in
you
the
go.
neighborhood
Yeah.
when it comes to my birthday, because I don't think other people should get money.
There you
Oh,
go.
that's
You
right.
had
There
your
you
birthday
go.
last year over on Scott.
on
And I
Scott
didn't even know
Street.
that
Mhm.
place
And
was
it didn't-
all
thank
that
you.
kind of space in
And
there.
my goal is to make sure that if you're going to celebrate my birth, you're going to celebrate it and use those funds within our community.
Mhm.
Love
That's
that.
it.
I
I
agree.
And
love
my sister loved the dance contest.
Yes, Mama
Mm.
could dance.
Oh yes, she could dance.
Oh, yes. She was
Put
a
the next to it,
partier.
Quincy.
Baby, she was the life of the party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here's another one. This, I think.
This is at Aunt Nita's house.
Yes. This may have been the year before Shalita died, right?
Yeah.
This is
Mhm.
the Christmas. Was it the Christmas before?
Yeah. That's on Jackson.
Uh-huh.
That couch.
Because you had the 3-story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the couch with it. I
Mhm.
recognize those pillows.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we like to take pictures, as you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yes.
miss a time.
Cheryl, is that you in the middle or your
Yeah,
mom?
Yeah.
that's me in the
That's
middle.
you.
My mom is
Uh-huh.
on the end with
On
the
this
Yeah.
side.
yeah, and that's
But don't they
Joanna.
favor so
Yeah.
much?
They do.
It's almost like if you took my mom,
Mhm.
Tanya, Joanne, put them in a blender,
Mm-hmm.
it would taste like Granny. Put up
No,
the,
your granny looked like me.
she looked like you. Put up the next one, Quincy. Tell us
Oh, wow.
about
Oh, that's a
this.
formal photo.
That is a
Look at
family
that.
portrait.
Is that a J.C. Penney, Olin Mills?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it
Back
is.
in
Yeah,
the
that's
day.
a formal-
Olin
That's our
Mills.
god sister on the floor to the left, Tina.
Mhm.
Tanya's on the floor to the right. And then we have Shalita beside her, Lisa beside Shalita. I'm standing up. That was when I didn't know about food. Well, I'm not gonna say I didn't know about food. Well, before food caught up with me, because I used to eat. But I was slim, and that's my mom sitting down.
Mhm.
Tell us about this period in time.
We were living. What was Sabata? Sabata was living with Bama, and it was mom raising us. And maybe like we probably was living on Flag Street at that time in a 3-bedroom house, 1 bath with 5 girls. Well, actually 6.
Wow.
So at that time, someone was always on their menstrual period.
Oh my God. And she told me not to embarrass
All
her.
the
On the ride over
time.
here. On the ride over here, she's like, Durell, don't you
No, but
embarrass me.
Well, it's a house full of women. It's a house full of women. It's a house full of women. So, but I say that to say
That's
a lot of people
real.
don't know because a lot of people wasn't trained.
Uh-huh.
how to take care of the business in the restroom and leave it clean
That is so true.
and how to wrap things up and do away with things in the proper manner, in the proper way. Because even today, you go in restrooms behind women and
Yes.
things is not the way it supposed to be. And that's why I say what I say, because living, with my mom, she taught us just things as you get older and form into the woman that you are, that I am today. It was so many things that I've learned that other people my age still don't know.
If you could give advice to that woman that's standing up, that young woman, if you could talk to her right now, what advice would you give her?
Think about, I'm not going to say be selfish, but as I was, for instance, when I got married or whatever, I thought about everybody else except for myself. And it took me years to think about me and what I wanted in life and where I wanted to go in life and the things that I wanted to succeed in life. It took years.
But that was your raising.
Yeah.
You were raised to be concerned about your family.
Of course.
And
my boys came first.
It came first.
Mm-hmm.
The family came first. You saw that with your mom. The kids came first. We always saw that. So yeah, they would. My mother used to have a saying about, I wear raggedy drawers just to make sure.
That's right. We did what we had to do to make sure the kids had
came
everything that they needed.
And that was her raising.
Did you
And
have
I could.
kids in that picture? I mean, with Durell
No.
and Devontae? Okay,
No.
okay.
We wouldn't even
No.
thought of it. Isn't that how they
Wouldn't
used to
even
say?
thought
Wouldn't
of
even
No, I
thought
was
of
in
it.
high
When he
school
thought
then.
about it. Oh,
Wouldn't even
okay.
thought of it. I mean, it wasn't too long, but
And I could
at
truly,
that point, I wasn't.
I could truly say the roles have reversed. You take care of your kids will take care of you.
Yeah.
I agree. I believe that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Train
Let's
them
put the
up in
next one
way
up.
They should go. And they will not depart.
Oh,
That is us at Aunt Tanya's house. I want to say
that's Marnie right there. That's Marnie on the in the brown.
we're at Tanya's house with my sister Tanya's house. I want to say at Christmas time or Thanksgiving, maybe one of the two.
Is that your mother in the middle?
No, my
that's
mother's on the
on
end.
the end.
Then it's Joanna, me, and my sister Sabata. We got my niece, is that Jasmine? And and Morning.
Two Tasmanian devils.
Yes. If you could give that woman a piece of advice, what advice would you give her? Go for the divorce.
I was going through a divorce at that time. I was going through a divorce at that time.
Speed it up. Sign the papers.
It was dragged forever.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was happy.
That's good. Put the next one up.
This is Tanya and Devontae. That's Devontae at the bottom in the white shirt.
Reverend Chris Gordon.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's Jamel over there? Is that
And that's
Jamel?
Jamel.
Oh,
Yeah.
And that is Jamel.
And that's
The baby
Jamel
shower.
over there. Yeah.
I don't know where we were at that time.
Yeah. Go to the next one, please.
Tanya looked totally different. On there.
Yeah, she does. And Tanya, when she used to babysit us, see, all my aunts were different. When Aunt Tanya used to babysit us, we used to always have to take naps.
That's on Burkhead.
Burkhead.
That's on Burkhead.
Yeah.
Fence.
Yes.
That's Mom.
Know about a fence.
Yes.
Yeah, in the barbecue pit.
Is the house still in the family?
Yeah.
No.
No,
No. I actually drove by it the other day.
Yeah.
they redone it.
Yeah,
It's really
They've
nice.
redone it.
That whole
Mhm.
neighborhood is changed.
They have. You wouldn't even recognize it. Yeah.
Burkhead.
Put the next one up, Quincy.
That's Tanya, Miguel, and
And
Jamel.
Jamel. Yeah,
Mhm.
Jamel.
Tanya and her kids when they were little.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, what was it like, Mom, growing up in a household with 6 sisters?
It was always a line for the restroom. You would always go to the restroom, but somebody's always in the restroom. So you got to wait your turn. Same thing with at nighttime when it's time to take baths. And then when it's time to eat, if you're not in the kitchen when the food is served, guess what you get? What's left?
Wow.
Hardly ever any leftovers.
Wow.
But we ate well. Payday Fridays, we knew we were gonna eat.
What would y'all eat? Take me back to for me, we would have Timmy Chan's. We would get wings with rice and gravy. Or we would go to Lucky Village later toward in the years. We would go to Lucky Village Chinese buffet. What was that payday meal for y'all?
Our payday meal, our favorite meal was the cheeseburger baskets from Joe's. I think that was on Bennington and Jensen.
Oh,
It's still there today. It's still there today, Joe's.
Right there.
What about you, Anita?
The payday meals. Well, first of all, it was a big deal. I remember when we had the first drive-in in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Drive-through rather.
Mhm.
There was a Jack in the Box on Quitman because we had never had a Jack. And the way they sold this idea of fast food was they put a fire truck on the commercial, and the person at the front of the fire truck would order, and the person at the back of the fire truck would pick up the meal.
Mhm.
And that was how they were selling it. It was a big deal to have drive because we didn't, do fast foods. This is in the 50s. Okay.
Do you-
They didn't do fast foods like that.
Do you remember the
That-
hamburger place, the hamburger stand on Hirsch and Kelly?
19-cent hamburgers.
Yes, we used to eat there also
right
on
there.
Fridays.
It faced, it faced,
Yes,
it faced
cheeseburger
Hirsch.
baskets.
It
Mhm.
faced Hirsch, and it was across the street from Cashmere.
Yes,
When Cashmere was
Yes,
on Hirsch
yes.
back in the day.
Wow.
Yes, of course I
hamburger
remember
baskets.
that.
Yeah.
And what about the phone? That was always a big issue when you had a lot of people in your house because you had one phone.
Uh huh. Well, my
Think about
my
it.
family were not. They were not phone people. I was the
Uh-huh.
phone person.
Uh-huh.
I would be on the phone, especially when they had that party line.
Uh-huh.
How did the
Where
party line
you would
work?
sometimes pick up the phone
and you
and you could hear
conversation.
Other people's
You could hear other
conversation.
people's
I didn't like that.
conversation.
Conversation. The
and I
party
would
line.
always
I
just
didn't
listen
like-
because
I
I
didn't
was
like that.
nosy.
Wait. Explain this. A party line.
Yeah, you just pick up the phone and somebody's
But
already
who-
on the
but-
phone.
but-
Conversation.
You didn't know
You
who it
would,
was.
or if you did, you just
Uh-huh.
listen and hear that conversation because it was always tied up to the record store that was at the corner of Peachtree and Larry Copy.
When you on Peachtree,
It was a
Uh-huh.
record store that sold hamburgers
Mm-hmm.
right there on the corner, and I would always hear
Mhm.
that whole conversation. I'd be like, "That's the guy that working."
Yeah, it was weird.
You just getting
Mhm.
all the
Think about
So
that
information.
now.
so when you would move, you wouldn't get your own phone number. How did that work?
Yeah, you would
Yeah.
get your
You
own.
had a
Sometimes you would
number.
pick it up. You have a dial tone,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you pick it up. They would be on the line,
Two
and
other
so you
people.
try to hang them
wait
up.
until they finish.
Yeah,
Two other
you just wait until they finish.
So that means that people
Friday.
really didn't use phones as much.
Right.
Wow.
But now the phone is an extension of your hand.
Mhm.
But
To a
back
private
then, the phone
conversation.
was on the wall in a little nook that was designed for the phone to sit in,
Wow.
and that's where the phone was. It was a big deal if you had two phones in the house. Then they made the cord long.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was a big deal about the kitchen phone that was hanging in the kitchen,
Mhm.
and the cord would be long.
Long,
That
yeah.
was
The curly
the
coil
curly
part.
cord.
Uh-huh.
Would be long.
Mhm.
What was your meal, Miss Charlene?
My meal,
Well,
Your
you
favorite?
you from St. Louis or Missouri, so we really probably wouldn't know.
spaghetti,
Spaghetti.
spaghetti and fish.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Put the next one up, Quincy.
Oh my goodness. That's in front of E.O. Smith Junior High School.
Oh wow.
On
You can make it
Greg's-
big, Quincy. Put the whole
right.
thing on the screen
on
so everybody
Gregg
can see,
Street,
if you
in
can.
the 1700 block of Gregg Street next to the fire station. So where the fire station sits on Gregg Street now, it sits on the west side of Gregg Street. Where it used to sit was on the east side. It was E.O. Smith, the school that was formerly Wheatley, then New Orleans Street, Mama Alice's Cafe, which David Anderson has memorialized downtown on Main Street, because that was his relative. The fire station was next to that. The jailhouse was next to that. Built when Oscar Holcomb was, because Fifth Ward was a ward itself, and so it had its own jailhouse, its own police, its own fire station, its own all that.
Oh,
Then
wow.
the house where we live, we have a picture of their grandmother, my brother and I standing out front. We were all dressed up, and then the liquor store was next to that, and that was the 17 and 1800 block of Gregg Street.
Wow.
And this is the 1700 block of Gregg Street, and E.O. Smith was the largest junior high school in the state of Texas. We had 3,300
Wow.
students
Oh wow.
at E.O. Smith, and it was so crowded that
Black
we had a
only?
lot of temporary buildings outside.
Black
was-
only or
Largest, no, we're the largest junior high period
Wow.
with 3,300, and that's when they built That's why they built Cashmere, because
Mhm.
Cashmere, it was too many students in that E.O. Smith. Like somebody like James Douglas went to E.O. Smith, but then he could transfer to Cashmere when it opened up in '61. So that's why there was, because there was so many students there in Fifth Ward, and they only opened Wheatley in 27 because there were only two colored schools. That was the colored high school, which is Washington, and then Yates in 26, and then Wheatley in 27.
Mm.
So the kids, like my grandmother, who were zoned to Booker T. Washington, the new name of the colored school, were then sent to Wheatley in 27. So she got a chance to vote on the colors, purple and white.
is that you
Oh,
on the
wow.
left?
It is me. That is me, kind of towards in the center where it says kind of me at the top. And there's
I see
and
you.
that's the Honor Society uniforms. Everybody had on.
Wow.
And because everybody, you dressed in uniforms all the time. That was
Got
whatever
your
uniform
skirts
day.
and
We had a
jackets on.
program, and we would present our programs because our teachers really pushed us to present, to speak, to act, to perform. We had skits, we had all of that. And
Mm.
so that's what our organizations did back then. But the person on the right, the far right, that's Diane Wheatley, who's a physician.
Wow.
And she's one of those four Wheatley sisters. There's a person in the center. Well, Alice, her name is Alice. She was Miss Wheatley in 1966, 67. And Alice has since passed away, but she was our Miss Wheatley at the time. And the 66, 67 Turkey Day Classic, which was the last Turkey Day Classic, had the first dark-skinned Miss Yates.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Celine Edwards. That was a big deal for Yates to have a dark-skinned
Ooh.
queen. Yes.
Wow.
So anyway,
Come through
that was
dark
back
skin.
then.
Wow. Now it's interesting. I saw a picture
Wow.
with you and James Douglas on a panel,
Uh-huh.
and it's interesting because your mom's aunt,
Mhm.
but mom's dad, Eddie Douglas, is cousins with James
To
Douglas.
James
So,
Douglas,
mom, you're related to both. And I just saw y'all both, and I'm like, wow, that is so
Mhm,
cool to
mhm.
see.
And that whole Douglas family, my mother was really, really close to his mother.
Wow.
Yeah, and his father, his brother, who was the orthopedic surgeon,
Mhm.
just really very talented family.
When I
Very
moved
talented.
to Seattle, James Douglas reached out and was like, there are three people who I want you to get to meet. He actually called me on three-way with one of them, and he's like, you need to know Durell, and Durell, you need to know him. And he's really just a jewel in the community. And he's the real deal.
Yeah, he enjoys it. He
Yeah.
enjoys being out and being on every show.
Yes. Put the next one up, Quincy.
That's three men named John Davis.
Mhm.
Wow.
John
That's
Davis.
John Davis
Mhm.
the fourth, my son, who's in the
Mhm.
center, and our friend from Arkansas, who was named John W. Davis, and my late husband, who passed away at 50 in 1997, and that
Mhm.
was John W. Davis the
Mhm.
third. And the significant thing about the fathers, I said, of marrying into a family, his father was Dr. Davis, who headed up the Sweat Victory Fund that desegregated public schools, because people don't realize that the desegregation of public schools in this nation started in Houston with the Sweat v. Painter case.
Oh, wow.
And that was
Hmm.
before Brown. Brown didn't happen until
Brown versus
54,
education.
but it was Sweat that filed with the to enter the University of Texas. And so they ultimately had to let him in. But a part of that losing the lawsuit, they purchased the Houston College from the University of Houston's and HISD at the time.
Oh.
And that's why you have the two universities, Houston Junior College
Mhm.
for coloreds and Houston Junior College for whites, that both started in 27. But it ended up with Houston College for Negroes being purchased by the state, and now they called it Texas State College for Negroes. So
Mm.
my mother's degree says the University of Houston has authorized the Texas State College for Negroes to grant a degree to Althea.
What?
So Texas State took credit for what Houston College did. So
Wow.
Texas was acting like it was educating its Negroes. It was not educating its Negroes. But
Wow.
ultimately, now they call it Texas Southern University.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Anita, can you talk about the significance of Texas Southern University being where it is and what that meant for Houston,
It
Black
changed the
people in
face.
Houston?
To this day, Texas Southern University is the largest collection of a Black-owned business. If you think of it not as a governmental agency or entity, but in terms of control of assets and control of funds,
Mm.
that's why it's always the subject of attack
Mm-hmm.
because
Sure
Black
is.
Mm.
folks control it.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as well, should
Mhm,
do
mhm.
try to control it. There are all those qualifications on there for it. But if you think about the neighborhood and the fact that the Cullen family, the Robertson rather, owned land, and so they bought where the University of Houston is. He donated the land for the University of Houston. They purchased the land where that's just near it on Cleburne for the Houston College for Negroes.
Mm.
And so then Dr. Davis headed up the fundraising drive to build the first building on that campus, and it's called the Fairchild Building. And the Fairchild Building is now the museum, but that was the first main building for Texas State College for Negroes to
Okay.
have in 47. And that's where the university really had its start, other than leaving the Yates campus. Because other than that, all the classes for Houston College were held at the Jack Yates campus.
Uh-huh.
That's
Wow.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Put up the
But it's
next
that
one.
same family that owned the land, and that's why they're so close.
Is that why they
Yes,
called
that's
it
so
Robertson
close.
Stadium?
Yeah.
Okay.
Robertson
Mhm.
A
and
walking
Cullen.
encyclopedia.
Mhm.
You know, you can just
What
spout
is
it
I
out.
just love that history. Oh, that's the celebration of Wheatley's. I think it was the
That's a cool one.
75th
Mhm.
anniversary, and so you have a lot of Wheatley graduates on that picture. The front person, of course, that's my mother, and she came out of Wheatley in 42. And Pauline Ransom, who's on the right, is still living, still active, and we are getting ready to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Phyllis Wheatley next year. They will unveil the Wheatley stamp,
Wow.
postage stamp on tomorrow. So there's a
Oh,
big event
great.
for
Okay.
that. Then the pointers, they're about, let's see, there are 2 pointer family members on there. Clytemnestra Smith, Akua, and you probably
Mhm.
would know Akua.
No,
who's
Miss
a-
Cool.
I've
That's
heard
how
that
we were all in
name.
the same
Mhm.
class.
We know Miss Cool.
I heard that
Mhm.
name.
Ruth Adams, that's in the back of Lionel Pointer. Her father, and Ruth Adams is one of those 5 sisters that was involved in the cancer
Cluster.
cluster.
Cashmere Gardens.
And their father, Reverend Adams, with at New Canaan Church, worked at Southern Pacific. Of course, he died of cancer, and then all four of those 5 sisters now have cancer. So they are the
Boy.
examples of that Inglewood Yard
Uh-huh.
cluster.
Uh-huh.
So that's Ruth
Wow.
on that picture, kind of back in the center, and I'm at the top. Althea Martin, whose niece is Kathy Payton, that runs the Fifth Ward Community Redevelopment Corporation.
Ah.
So she's a Martin. Jackie Tatum, who's in the front. We were all
Mhm.
church members, and Beverly Miller, who since passed away, and Rita Kelly.
Wow.
But that was a Wheatley celebration.
Put the
And
next one
that's
up.
we had the big thing that
That
day.
is so cool.
Lots of Wheatley.
Kathy
folks.
Bluford Daniels is on. She says, proud Wheatley
I
alum.
know Wheatley alums everywhere.
Put the next one up, Quincy. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's Bishop Ogletree, and of course the Congresswoman,
Mhm.
and Dr. Natalie Carroll Daly.
And Beto.
Beto, right.
Beto.
And then
Put the next one up, Quincy.
that's my son, John
Lily.
Whitaker Davis the fourth. And
Lily.
we had gone over to the office of the congressman because my niece, who lived with me until she got married, Patrice Johnson, was working for the congressman. And so we went over to her office to help get some stuff done. And that's the old Berkman, Burley, whatever it is, building that was right there at San Jacinto, 4100 San Jacinto. and the congresswoman. That's the furniture in his office
Wow.
at the time. And so he was
Really?
on the phone and trying to play with my son who's now 39. And that would have been within a year of his passing.
Wow.
Because my niece was on the flight with him when it crashed. So
Oh.
on August the 7th, 1989, Patrice Johnson. And she was married to Pastor Kirby John Caldwell.
Mm-hmm.
And once he
Really?
divorced her, then she went to work for Congressman Leland.
What? Are you serious?
That was your niece that was on the plane with him?
And there were 18 people on the flight.
Uh-huh.
And those people, their names
Crashed
are
into
on
the
a
mountains.
monument that that Commissioner Rodney Ellis put in Herman Park. So there is something, someone to recognize all those people. There were 18 people on that aircraft
Oh wow.
when it crashed.
Into the mountains.
And it
So,
ran,
yeah.
just ran into a mountain in Ethiopia. And it was a very short trip, but he was going to make sure that the funding that he had gotten for Ethiopian, because it was a famine, that funding was actually getting to the right people in Ethiopia. And so they went over there on that short trip.
Wow.
And the irony of that trip, and we talk about it all the time, is that Commissioner Ellis was scheduled to go on that flight. And my niece was working as chief of staff. So she said, no, I'm the one who's going to have to write this stuff up. So, Rodney, you get your ass off the plane, and then I'll go on this flight and take care of it. Because other than that, Rodney would have been over there in Africa and on that flight.
Wow.
So she was in that seat. And that's why the commissioner is very emotional about the whole that whole flight and the trip to Ethiopia.
That has to be something to see a flight, but also even just aside from the grief of even if he wasn't, but the fact that he also was supposed to be part of it, that has to be.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
What year was that?
1989, August 7th, 1989.
Wow.
Wow.
Put the next one up, Quincy. That is amazing.
That's the front of Phyllis Wheatley,
You ain't
and that was
sweet
in
over there.
I was finna record you.
1966. So there are some people. Butch Hickerson is on the right side, Arthur Hickerson, and I'm trying to see who that. I think that's Eurylis Neal. Yeah, Eurylis Neal is on there. Then Diane Norman is sitting with me down in the front.
Oh, that's you right there, over to the left.
In the front. The person on the very far right is Brenda Damaris. The second person is Florence Russo. You need to know about the Russos because they owned Sacred Hope Funeral Home. And that was one of the last. William Russo was head of the National Association of Black Funeral Directors. And that was one of the last funeral homes. There may be 3 or 4 that are still owned by Blacks.
Wow.
Other than that, Service Corporation of America and Service Corporation International has come in and basically purchased many of the funeral homes.
But they leave the name to keep the
business
history.
Yeah.
To take advantage. That is wild. Put up the next one, Quincy.
And she's written a book too about Black funeral directors. Florence has.
All right.
Okay, skip that page.
No, tell us about it.
Where was this? I think that's me holding it. Is that
you're
it?
holding
Is that Mom at your house? Who has this? Wherever I was, I saw it and I
That's
was
the
like,
yearbook. That's a 67 yearbook.
I'm wondering where it is though, like where I was, where I opened it. Mom, do you have that, or was it probably Miss
You
Akua?
was a majorette.
Yeah, I'm captain of the squadron, Purple and White Squadron.
What's
My
the
mother
squadron?
was it was the marching units.
Okay,
That was the other thing that we had. We had the band, we had the drum and bugle corps, and we had the Purple and White Squadron. My mother was in the Purple and White Squadron. So when I came along, Miss Cleveland said, "You're gonna be in the Purple and White Squadron." That's how you take whatever your folks did beforehand.
That's what
Quincy,
they
you on a
wanted
time
you to
crunch?
do. Yeah.
kind of. Yes,
Yeah.
a few minutes.
Your
Okay,
same,
'cause
the
this is-
same
come on,
teachers
we-
were there, so they
appreciate it,
told you
Quincy.
what
Thank
to do. And they pushed you in it. You were going to be in charge, and you were going to lead. You were not going to be just a regular. Maybe you're going to be the captain of the squad.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's
And you were
right.
going to be the president of the organization.
Mhm.
You were going to be a part of it, and that's what our teachers did in
And we
our
need more of
nurturing,
that.
Still,
segregated environment.
Wow.
We need
And
more of
it
that
was,
now.
and still leadership.
You know, I have a theory, and I'm going to ask Miss Charlene if you'll switch with the one and only Donna Glover, who's on tonight. Anita, I have a theory that the schools were better when the pharmacist and the janitor's kids went to school together from the same neighborhood.
the teaching was better.
Mhm.
The
Mm.
environment may not have been as good. The books, of course, were used, but one of the advantages of segregated schools was that they wanted to spend as much money with their friends to build a school.
Mm.
So you get a historic school like the Phyllis Wheatley that was added on to the McGowan Elementary. That
Mhm.
school was built as solidly and much more better than Marlboro B. Lamar that was built later in the 30s. But when it came to saving and preserving the school, Marlboro B. Lamar got all the money to save the school. Wheatley, of course, was demolished.
Mm.
Wow.
Gotcha.
But the school was very well built because those contractors still got the money. That was the goal
Mhm.
of that. So
Wow.
our schools were very well built and, architecturally designed. And we go back into, all of the history of the design of each one of those schools.
Mm.
So I would think the facilities, but the programming and the resources placed in the school,
Mhm.
not the same. That was the difference.
Mhm.
But the
Mhm.
teachers
Mhm.
made
Well,
the
top
difference.
notch. Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Because
mother
they told you
finished from Yates.
that you were going to be
Mhm.
somebody and you were going to make a difference.
Yes.
So Donna Glover, you're sitting with royalty today.
Absolutely. I'm just soaking it up.
Yeah, you didn't know you were in for this today,
I
did
didn't
you?
know that. And
didn't know
I
your
didn't know
cup
that you
would be
all were
filled.
related.
Hey,
See
never
there?
know,
Yeah,
you
look.
know,
Okay.
while you all in inboxes cussing people out. I
That's supposed to
joke.
be
I joke.
private.
I was listen, I was joking because but it is true that other people have said, like, who are you endorsing in
I
this
was like,
race?
and why
Who
he
are you
say my
endorsing? Who are
name?
you
I'm
endorsing?
like,
And I'm like,
I was joking with you.
I know, but I kid, but you
It's
said
all
it.
good.
Hey, but you said it. You said it.
I did.
But what questions do you have for Anita?
Well, I'm just yes, I am in royalty and I'm excited and I'm
so
just like,
kind.
wow, I am just in awe. Because one, like I said, I did not know that you all were
Mhm.
related. So
See
it's good.
there?
I'm glad I didn't talk about you on Friday.
Yeah, see?
No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just excited. And I'm looking at your picture because my mom was in the squadron at Yates. So she really was very excited about that. She always talked about Yates, my mom and my aunt. They finished from Yates in 55 and 56, respectively.
And you performed in every game.
Mhm.
You worked harder than the football team.
And my aunt
You
was
were
like,
out
yeah,
there.
we got
That's
it there
right.
because it was free to get in the games. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Wow.
you didn't have to pay. And that was cost savings to the family.
Good.
Yeah.
But I just love the uniforms. I actually, although I'm born in 76 or whatever, X,
Mhm.
I would still love to have the uniforms that length or maybe just a little bit above the knee,
Yeah.
because nowadays you don't have anything on, really.
You know, that was Al Edwards' thing. Remember Representative Al Edwards? That was his thing. He would point that out. Let's put the next one up, Quincy.
It was a lot more military oriented. The
Yeah.
bands and the performances and the cadence and the way the lines had to be kept straight on that. What they do out there now.
Right.
I'm like,
Totally
and that's
different.
okay.
Totally
That was
different.
okay.
Well, but
And we could have done that.
Yeah, but I
We could
mean,
have done that. We had the same thing.
I remember the year that I graduated high school, class of 86 from Kashmir.
Okay.
And I was in a drill squad.
Commandant.
Well, I was commandant my senior year, co-commandant my junior year,
See there?
sergeant as my,
See there?
yeah, it's in the
Okay.
family. But my thing was they were so strict with telling us what we could and could not do. So I guess that's when it all started with the you're not able to do this, that. But nowadays it's just
we could not wear pants to school in HISD. Period. No pants.
Oh, wow.
They actually need to bring pants back.
Uniforms, period.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
uniforms would be a good idea nowadays.
But if you
Well, they got uniforms. I mean,
I mean,
but if you look at it, if you look at the
they're-
symbolism of
they give them.
they knocked the old
time.
Wheatley over, the well-built solid
Mhm.
Wheatley,
Mhm.
and they threw up this.
Some little squatty ass stuff.
Yes.
mhm.
And it's like symbolic or like a metaphor for what has happened to education. Who's this?
Oh,
Mhm.
that's a
Cutie patootie.
3-year-old who was always getting into trouble.
Always.
One of the things that she did
Being a
was
3-year-old.
she decided to wash her hair in the toilet because it was close. It was water, and you wash your hair.
Right,
And
right.
it was the
Yeah,
closest
it's what you can
water
reach,
to
right?
wash
Wow.
hair. So that's one of the things she did.
That's cute.
And
Hey,
I heard about
innovative.
that a lot. Yeah, well, yeah.
Innovative, right?
charge.
You didn't know that it was
Little beauty
whatever,
Take
Take
but-
charge.
Yeah.
Anita, if you could,
And
oh,
I want to point this out too about that school. It took 48 million to build that little squatty ass ugly school that they have over there on the corner of
Mhm.
Gregg and Lyons. It would have taken 18 million to renovate it.
Wow.
So you're talking about bond money and use of bond money. Why would you vote for somebody to misuse bond money if they would misuse bond money in that way? Tear down $1 million brand new library, not update a excellent historical facility,
Mhm.
but waste $30 million just so you can give that to somebody.
Mhm.
So, do you think that the voting public is not educated on those matters? Like, so you said, why would they do it, right? And you explained it now, right? That doesn't make good sense.
Mhm.
But when the bonds come, nobody is out there saying this is what they're going to be doing.
And when they list what they're going to be doing,
Mhm.
the key is, are they telling the truth?
Right, right.
Because they can say we're going to do something for this campus, but it may not be what they end up doing
Right.
by the
Mhm.
time they get to the plan. They set up a committee that has a book this thick,
Mhm.
and that book lists each one of those capital projects that they're going to do and using that bond money.
Mhm.
But who made that decision about what they were going to do?
Right.
And now you have a situation where you have them closing schools because they're, quote, not enough students
Mhm.
after they've removed the programs that would have
Right,
kept
draw
the
the
students
students
there.
there.
And I am particularly upset about Fleming. You take away the automotive program, you take away the reading program, and you say, well, the students aren't there. Well, hell no, they ain't there.
Right.
Because they
Right.
can't be there because you've removed those programs that were important to the students. And you could have other programs. So now you have this massive piece of property
Mhm.
that's going to be available for development.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm.
But let me ask this point though. So I definitely understand all of that. How and no, I want to say I'm not excusing anyone. So let me say that because I'm definitely all about what's right. But how how much of the responsibility is to the neighborhood and to the people of the area? And I'm gonna ask you this question because I worked in HISD. I've lived. I'm a product of HISD. I'm a product of Lamar, Persian, McGregor here in Third Ward, and I've worked there. I've lived in other places. Come back. And like for instance, I'll just speak about Yates because that's what I'm familiar with. People are like, oh, they want to close Yates. And I tell people, yes, because it takes people to run Yates. It takes the children, it's a business.
Now you are a
have to-
candidate who's running for office right now.
and I'm
right?
saying that I know, but because I'm
I'm
about
just saying, it's
being
probably gonna be
real.
a clip, Donna.
It's about being real. I'm not saying anything that's bad. I'm
Mhm.
saying that what is the responsibility of the neighborhoods of the people, because sometimes we get upset about stuff and it's like, okay, but we're moving out to the suburbs,
Mhm.
Well,
Well-
so how can you think that a school is going to run if you're moving out to the suburbs and you're not living in that
I would look at
neighborhood.
it like
I said I'm not excusing anyone.
They take resources out. Like I live on the corner of McGregor and Almeda, right? The students that live where I live are zoned to Lamar. They should be zoned to Yates. So it is, in my opinion, a racist system that says, oh, these people over here, we'll send them over there, and we're going to take away every ounce of, because what do you think would happen if the kids that live in Third Ward, aka Museum Park, aka ... went to Yates? What's so wrong with Yates?
Oh,
it's closer.
No, I know it would be magnificent because of years past of what has history.
But look at who has the power for districting, you know?
Right. So
yeah.
I'm saying how much responsibility is it for us to make sure that we speak up, that we're at the HISD meetings?
People do.
That we are. I'm not saying they don't. I'm
the
saying
key is
massive.
who is the decision maker? Who is the decision maker? If you have at Yates the communications effort and all of the initiatives that were put into communications and the special programming and all of that, and then that kind of withers away, and then you don't have this part of the photography. If you put the programs there, that students go where they can get the best education.
Absolutely.
And if you take away the best education, or you use a phony test-taking grading system to degrade an educational site, and then you send them over to a place where somebody privately has a charter school, and that is not put in the same competition as the others, then that's intentional. That is not where the decision is made by the parents. There are schools within HISD where the parents said, hell no, we want this for our students, we want that for our students. And you saw those schools like Kettleson turn around. You saw the school like, I can't think of the one that's on Gray right there before you get to Montrose, turn around. And then they're successful. So, and you see the success, and then what happens? The director of education sends in somebody who definitely is following his orders, and all of a sudden the schools that were productive don't have all of the things that they need. Students will go where they can learn and where they can get the best boost for their post-secondary education. And that is an example is HSPVA. It's sitting at 1300 Capitol, where the school district used to have its office. And that is where that high school is. That's not a convenient place to go to school, but they are knocking down the doors to try to get in there by February 25th, which today is the deadline. So that is, if you put the programming and you put the tools and you put the instruction in a location, the students will come wherever it is.
That's right. No, I agree. I mean,
can we put up the last one, Quincy?
Cullen Middle School. I worked at Foster Middle School. I worked at CLC. Okay. And I'm like, people, they can do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Is this Anita?
Oh, that's the drum major, Jackie Scott, who was a drum major at Wheeling. And right now, if you would see him, you would never think that he was the kind of person that could take the stick up, twirl it back, and bring his head back to the ground. And that was his proud sister who had flown in from Washington, D.C. to see her brother in his last drum major presentation.
I love it. I love it.
Look at that.
I love it.
Yep.
Well, we are 16 minutes over.
Oops.
And no, I say this, Quincy, you're on the Christmas card list, you know, and I really appreciate it.
The family cookout.
Right, the family cookout. We just could not rush this episode. Anita, on behalf of myself, the family, the community, thank you for all that you continue to do.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
are
Let's
just
fight
Yes,
for Fleming.
yes.
fight for Fleming.
Yes.
That's our charge, folks.
Yeah.
You hear it?
Yes.
You want to win the primary? That's what you should be talking about.
Okay.
Fight for
the
Fleming.
Fleming.
Yes.
Fifth Ward, isn't it?
Which
That's
what
it.
doesn't Uncle Jackie live across from
Fleming.
Fleming?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
That's my point. And
That's
there's
what I
it'd be a
thought.
big empty
Wow.
space with a bunch of derelicts hanging out there.
That's
And there are these students, and the cars are lined up. The students are there,
Yeah.
but they've taken the programs out of
the
Fleming.
school.
Weren't they
Yeah.
a fine arts magnet at one point?
I don't
I
even
think they were
remember
fine
all
arts
of
magnet.
that.
I think so, yeah.
They were fine arts
Absolutely.
magnet. So
Because
On
my
Collinswood.
good
It's on
friends,
Collinswood, 2 blocks off of Lockwood.
mhm.
my good friend's mom, Beverly Ross. I don't know if you know Miss
She
Ross.
used to be the band director.
No, not the band director, special ed director.
Okay.
She
Mhm.
just passed in August, but
Wow.
definitely a very timely or long-term
Mhm.
teacher at Fleming,
Fleming.
and a
Uh-huh.
supporter of Fleming.
Yeah.
They live on Crane or what
Mhm.
have you, around the corner. So
Interesting story about Fleming. So when I was in high school, when I was in the
Where'd you
10th
graduate
grade, 10th grade, mom, 11th grade, Save 'em Global. You know where I'm going.
Mhm,
What grade
mhm.
was that? 10th grade.
10th grade.
So when I was in the 10th grade,
Mhm.
I had always wanted to be in the band.
Mhm.
And so I had played trumpet already. Long story short, I ended up, this is before Amazon. I ended up, I say, Mom, I need a trumpet. They said I need a trumpet before X date.
Mhm.
And mom is like, well, you want to build one? Right. And so I ended up emailing back and forth with some folks on eBay, and I get a trumpet from China for like $50.
Wow.
Now, I see it for $50. I order it, and they're like, no. This is if you're ordering 100 of them.
Mm.
So I say, well, you never know. I would like a sample. So they send me one. Long story short, I get that one. Mom, remember this story?
Yes.
Advantageous, right?
I get to band, and they're like, he has a new trumpet.
Uh-huh.
Where did you get that from? I want to buy one. So I ended up selling that one for $300, buying 3 more.
Mhm.
And before you knew it, we had a business called Save 'em Global. And Save 'em was named after Shalita Artet Vivian Mills. So Save 'em Global. So I'm in high school. I can't even sign the paperwork for the stuff.
Wow.
So next thing you know, y'all remember the green sheet? The green
Yes, of
sheet
course.
brings you
Yes,
buyers.
yes,
Green
yes.
sheet brings.
Yeah.
So
Right here at
every
Third Ward.
Friday they had what was called Free Ad Friday.
Mhm.
And so before you knew it,
We need that
I
back.
had 20 musical instruments in my closet.
Mhm.
Wow.
And we're running a business. So the next year, fax machines were still in. I'm faxing, right, flyers to the band. I would call each school, get the band director's name and number,
Mhm.
and then I would fax him a things. And here's our list.
Mhm.
And then we had
price
little
list.
matching polo shirts
Mhm.
and a folding table with tablecloths.
Entrepreneurial.
Yes.
Entrepreneurial.
And we would
That's it,
stop at the dollar
always, right?
store
That's
and get the
right.
little snacks, and
Entrepreneurial.
we would find out when the open house was.
Mhm.
And I'll never forget, we got to
And
the
sell the
point.
instruments.
We got to
Wow.
the point where now Patrick Henry is rebuying instruments,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they want us to be the provider of it.
Woo.
And that's when I learned about Net 30, Net 90. I'm in the 11th grade.
Wow, great.
And we're a vendor for HISD.
Yeah.
And I'll never
Yes.
forget because when a middle school orders instruments, I
Mhm.
remember that was the first time that it was like, oh, this is gonna take all of our liquidity,
Mhm.
every dollar I have.
Mhm.
But the payoff
Mhm.
is what kind of got the ball rolling.
Mhm.
My mom, in closing, what during that time you have this child who's asking you to sign this and do this and do that.
Yes, and I was afraid, but I was going through a divorce, well, separated at that time, and had just lost my job and was spending my last bit of unemployment.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Mhm. That's support for you.
yes, God came
Support.
through.
That's
Yeah.
support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
out of
support.
nowhere, because when you look back at it, what are
That's
the
support.
odds? That is
Yeah.
insane. And so yeah, so
Awesome.
everything today is because of that. So thank you, Mom, for
Thank
you know-
you, son.
you know the joy I put on Facebook a long time ago. I said one day I'm gonna buy my mom a Cadillac and a house on McGregor. And so she's what?
Promoting.
Oh, she's promoting Charlene.
Oh.
Yeah, come on, Miss Charlene.
Come
I'm
on, Miss
sorry.
Charlene.
Switch places. Yes, Miss Charlene has an announcement to make. She has an announcement to make.
Yeah.
Come on, Miss Charlene.
Miss Charlene. Now, Donna Glover is running for county clerk. If you haven't heard, if you haven't district clerk, if you haven't been shoved a push card at an event lately, I'm messing with you, Donna. I'm messing with you, Donna. There's somebody else pushing push cards.
Yes, I am. Charlene Jones running for precinct chair for 136 in Riverside.
All
And
right.
I have my
Yes.
push card that Durell Houston Justice, aka Houston Justice, made for me. Thank you
Yeah.
so
Well,
much.
no. Look, disclaimer.
Okay.
Durell made it. Houston
Durell-
Justice did not.
Durell Douglas
And Durell
made it.
Douglas, right? So not.
That's right.
I don't want no
Durell
stuff.
Douglas made this for
I don't want
me.
no stuff.
Yes.
Separate, nonpartisan.
Yes.
Durell Douglas
Houston
made
Justice
this
is
for me.
nonpartisan. That is partisan, and so that's why I personally paid
Yeah,
for that.
Durell
Yeah, there
Douglas.
you
Thank
go.
you so
That's
much.
right.
Durell.
And
Yeah,
good
you're gonna end up
luck.
getting
Good luck.
recruited,
Love
Miss
it.
Charlene.
I
You're gonna
love
end up, 27 is around the corner. You out, you got a room full of people doing postcard. I saw that the other day. And I was
Yes,
like,
postcard party.
I'm like, who does that for a precinct chair race?
Yes.
Well, thank you, Anita.
It's been
Thank-
a lot of
Yes.
activity this
I
time.
can't
Oh,
wait.
it's
I can't wait
crazy.
until
It's
Tuesday.
crazy.
I'm just
It's
exhausted
crazy.
with the thought of it.
Gotta
And
get
thank you-
people out to vote.
Yes.
Yes.
And thank you, Donna Glover. Donna, let me tell you something. Donna has energy. Donna has spunk. Now, I'm not endorsing anybody in that race, right? But Donna is like, you got to give it to her. I mean, she has no shame. She will push a card. She'll be at the tollway. The toll booth. Jump in. Here you go. It'll be 275. And here you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And either way it goes, Donna, however it goes on Tuesday, however it goes, you are running one heck of a
Good luck to you,
campaign.
too.
Mhm.
You are, I mean, your energy, I don't know where you get it from. You're just everywhere.
Everywhere.
There you go.
And that's in some places I'm mad because I'm like, I didn't even see that. Why didn't I know about that?
What, the events and stuff? Well, you can't do that as a candidate because you can't be everywhere. See, that's like one of those
That is
candidate
true.
things where you're like, wait, they were at Wheeler? Wait a minute. Like, no, just breathe, right?
Right.
Do the best
And
you
we'll
can
see.
be where
There
you
you
at.
go. And just
Yeah.
stay zenful. Yes.
Wherever it is, I'm supposed to be, that's where I am.
That is where you're supposed to be.
Shining.
Yes, and we want to thank the people here. If you've ever looked and said, "Hey, where is that?" It's Sacred Stone Studios. Quincy Whetstone, who's also a gospel artist,
Yes.
Didn't know that.
owns this space. Does amazing work.
Yeah.
You know. So if you want to, I'll say this: just like Donna is stepping out there on faith, right, to run for office. This was stepping out on faith, right? I got to pay for that. I got to invoice every month, right? And it's turning into something that is hopefully
Yes.
edutainment. Like there's a reason why you don't log in and I'm talking about precincts and blah, blah, blah. Like we'll do a little bit of that, but I see this as a way to really get people who otherwise wouldn't pay attention to this into it and paying attention to it and making it relatable and digestible, right?
Yes.
Putting cheese on the broccoli. If you want the kids to eat the broccoli, put some
little
cheese
cheese
on
on
it.
it.
Put a little cheese on it. That's what I do here. I have fun. Everything is all in jest, right? Some people really be getting their feelings hurt. Anita, I make a little joke and then I say it's a joke, you know? And the next thing you know, I'm getting phone calls, people in my inbox. I'm like, what is going on?
That always happens.
That's how you can just turn it around.
Yes.
to your benefit.
That always happens in the political arena.
It
You can say
does.
something and make a comment about aliens, and the next thing you know, the orange alien has decided that and
Right.
this man is importing aliens and
Yeah,
marrying them. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's like, what is that? I didn't even say anything. So Sacred Stone Studios, 3518 Emancipation, they do excellent work. They also do like on-site stuff. So when Jolanda was like running from the FBI on quorum break, and we had planned to do the dinner series, and I ain't gonna lie, I was hoping Jolanda would be like, we can cancel it. But Jolanda's Jolanda. So she was like, let's figure something out. I was like, oh my goodness. So we did it. And so they came and brought the big, remember Miss Charlene and
Yeah,
They
Zoom.
did the setup and they made it,
Zoom.
because I didn't want it to be us passing around a laptop and it's unprofessional and it's,
She was
you
on
know,
the big
so
screen.
she was on the big screen. So, and thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for being part of this. Please go vote if you are eligible.
Yes,
Please.
go vote.
If you're eligible, and take somebody with you. It warms my heart to see my cousin Anthony at the thing on Friday. Did you see Booby? I saw Anthony. I was like, oh, this
was there.
yes. So people are not paying attention to this election.
Tell somebody to go vote. Tell them.
Tell and take them.
Tell them. Take them.
Take 5
Yeah.
to 10 people.
You know what?
Take people.
You know what confused me, and I should know. I should have known this. The polling locations are different for a primary. So I usually vote at Judson Robinson right there, and then or I'll vote like for the runoff. It wasn't a polling place, so I had to vote at Match Theater. Well, for this, neither of them. So I went one day to one place, one day to another. So go on the website, go to harrisvotes.com and see what is the closest location to you, so you don't make a blank trip. Remember Uncle Robert's birthday? It was way out there.
Yeah.
And I forgot, like I had the dates mixed up. So I'm there.
Before.
Right. I'm like, Aunt Joe, I'm here. And she's like, it's next weekend. I was like, well, I'm missing that. I'm not doing this drive next weekend. She's like, please come back. I was like, no, I'll see y'all another time. But with all of that said, thank y'all and good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.